should be good to go. Hello, everybody. I forgot where my camera was. Hello, everybody. Just because it's dark in here, I did turn on the proper lights. I do want to see what this sounds like overall, because I'm not entirely sure. So I kind of have this music going to just let me know. But because I want to have that good balance in there for when we're going to watch this properly. I do have to make some tweets about it. Honestly, it's going to fuck with the camera. I wanted to not duplicate, but extend instead. But we can just make a tweet about it properly. I can do that on my phone, honestly. But I do want to see our stream. You can even see my search there. Essentially, I guess you... maybe you can. Bum, 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 bum. What do we want? Oh, sorry. Bum, 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 bum. Give me a live stream. Yeah, YouTube, I would like to go directly to it. This used to be like 20 times easier to do. There used to just be a button here, like where the description was, that I could just click. And that ain't a thing anymore. Let's just go to our channel. It'd be right at the top. It might echo a bit here. Let's just go to our channel. It'd be right at the top. Alright. Yeah, probably echoed a bit. That's alright. We'll mute that for now. I think that's good. I think our volume on that is good. I am going to pull up the stream on my phone so that I can just read chat or anything, because what I'm going to see is going to be duplicated over there. So that's essentially what we're doing. Is give me 2 seconds, because it is not enjoying my fingerprint. Let me also get those tweets out. Uh, 3 seconds. Just gotta wait for it to load. So there's no notifications. Yep. All right. And then this is a-okay. Oh, it hasn't been refreshed yet. My bad. Oh, it's at 155? Oh, I thought it was 115. You know what? That's okay. Huh. We're an hour early. You know what? We like to talk a lot here. That's okay. That's okay. That works out. This will be our setup phase for this. This will be our setup. Uh, totally, definitely not Arc 6 announcement time. Teehee. And then also, I'll copy that. I'll throw it on Blue Sky. There. All right, that's good. We could probably remove Kirby collecting, but that's all right. That could be our chill music. You know what? I'm cool with that. I have to remember what I was doing. I could be really funny and I could open something up, like just play something, but have it be back there. And I don't even have it like full screen. It's just back there the whole last time. Let's make that tweet sort of thing over here, that post, I guess. There we go. I should probably, like, because it has to load that, doesn't it? Or does it load automatically afterwards? It doesn't seem like it. How do I edit this? This site is a little confusing to me. Hold on. Okay, I can only delete while I'm outside of it. A little strange. That's all right. Will it not? Huh. It won't post the thumbnail of the live. That's interesting. That's whatever. Weird that it doesn't integrate it like that, but we'll deal with it. Yeah, because we did copy it from the live itself, so that's strange. Alright. We will keep this open. Put it on that. Alright, I get to see myself on my phone now. Okay. With that all figured out, yeah, I just want to make sure we're all good there. Alright. Fuck it, let's chill out and listen to that. So yeah, like I was saying, so we are here, and essentially how this is going to work is much like other stuff we've done on the channel and all that, and the React channel. We are going to have the actual stream sort of thing over there. So, this is actually a very easy way for me to avoid any copyright sort of related stuff. I worry about it when it comes to like actual episode reactions. I think it'll be fine here, right? And sometimes this sort of thing gets fucked over when it comes to just what plays in a trailer, especially, and all that sort of shit. I'm now realizing the music wasn't on. Apologies, fix that. But yeah, so they should work out well in the sense that all of it will be over there, and we won't get striked, hopefully. I say striked, but it would probably be claimed, and if it gets claimed, there's a chance it gets blocked in areas, and that's what we don't want, right? I'm just saying a chance. No guarantee, just a chance, right? It's a trailer, so it's a little bit easier in that regard. I think music is the thing we have to worry about, but that's why I have the button to mute, just in case, right? But that's over there, and then I also have it right here, so it does mean that I can't necessarily open up stuff on the computer itself, because anything I open here is also going to be over there. Don't typically have it that way, I just have it that way to make things easier, because now I can actually share it. The one other thing I was thinking of doing is having two separate tabs of this. So I'd put one over there, I'd have one here for myself. The only thing I worry about, as much as that might be great, and it might work out exactly how I want it to, but the one thing I worry about is if it gets desynced. If one of them gets desynced, that's it, right? That means it's no longer synced, and my reaction to what I'm seeing might not be the same as what's over there, right? Or vice versa, you know, all that sort of shit. I mean, at that point, you know, maybe I just like turn my head and do this and be like, wow, right? But no. But who's to say that that one's like the one that would be ahead necessarily, right? So, we'll just do it this way. It's a lot easier. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I actually haven't opened my drink yet, so I'm gonna open that and take a drink. And now I get to see me over there do it. Good job, me. Alright. Yeah, we have way longer on this than I thought. Shit. That's okay. We get to talk, though, and that's cool. I mean, there's not much to actually say. I was gonna work on, because I mentioned the Rumble stuff at the end of my video today. Or rather, I put that there because I totally forgot to mention it. I was like, shit, I'm supposed to mention that, like, every video. I do need to work on a trailer for the new additions we're putting in there. So, I would technically work on that right now if it weren't for the fact that, like, playing music wouldn't be a problem because I could just mute it on desktop, but it's kind of the thing of I would need music in there, like, in that trailer, and then I would have to do all sorts of shit here and there. As well as, you know, if it's relaying from here to there, you already kind of see it prior to a trailer or anything, which, it's a live stream, it'll be unlisted, but I don't know, I don't necessarily want to do that while I'm on stream. There was the one time we played a review on stream just because I was so bored of what happened. And it's like, I think that was a bit unfair because it was the MF Bunko stream, it was bound to have nothing. And yet I was just like, yeah, fuck it, and I put the review out early. And it's like, there was no reason to do that, I kind of just ended up doing it. Was a little funny, but Wasn't necessary. Bum, 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 bum. Again, like, I wouldn't be opposed to just playing something. It's just the problem of, if I were to do that, it would essentially mean that, like, let's say I play Infinite Wealth, right? Because I've been grinding out Infinite Wealth stuff. Because obviously that's like one of the videos we have to make next. That is essentially is the big video we have to make next. While I've been grinding out post-game content on that, it's like as much as I could play it here, all you guys would get is the screen over there. Because, I mean, there's no reason to open up like the actual gaming setup and then have Infinite Wealth there. Whatever it may be, especially when we can just talk for the time being. There is still 40 minutes, but... I guess it is tough because unlike before, I don't know what to say. Like, it's kind of the thing of, we got Arc 5 as an adaptation, right? And that, so far, right, there's one episode left. That has been just absolute cinema, right? I've been enjoying that a ton. So it's tough to necessarily say, like, oh, you know, here's what I'm hoping for Arc 6. Because, like, I already know what we're going to get if we, you know, if we are really getting it here. It is pretty much guaranteed, like I said, in the video today and all that sort of shit and previous reactions I've done. But at this point, we know, right? So, I don't know. All I can say is, like, oh, I'm excited. Obviously, I can't wait. This will be real fun. It'll be a real cool announcement. I did see that Fist of the North Star is going to be at Anime Japan as well, which I am very excited. I hope we get a trailer of the remake, or just something, right? Let me know who's going to be voicing Ken. Let me know who will be voicing YIPEE, all that. That's something I want to know from them. I know the Rize movie for Chainsaw Man's going to be there. Maybe I'll have a new trailer. Bleach, I think, is there. If that has a trailer core 4, great, right? This is from today till like 3 weeks from now, it is going to be a great like month sort of thing, because 3 weeks from now we get the part 7 announcement, or what is very likely the part 7 announcement. So I'm excited. I'm very excited. This is going to be a good long while here of just fun announcements. I'm just like thinking about, like, we could do something. I just like, the only thing is, if I were to do something like Infinite Wealth, right? Or like if I were to just like play it while we're here, I feel like I feel like I would be so focused on that that we wouldn't really be talking too much about this. And like my excitement for this, which is like not necessarily the worst. We're here to just see the trailer and maybe dissect it a bit. Not even maybe, we're probably just dissecting it, but... And I mean, I have the record button ready for when we do, but... Other than that, though, yeah, I guess there isn't really much. Because again, I do have like some faith in it. Huh. I saw people hoping for, you know, the EX novels to be adapted as like OVA sort of stuff. I'm hoping for that as well. Right? I can only assume that's why they cut stuff out of Teresia's flashback. But... maybe we do it. I'm like thinking, I'm really thinking on it right now. And I'm just like, man... As much as I, like, last time we talked through this, like, because I'm pretty sure we did. You know what? That's how we'll waste some time here. Let me pull it up, because I think last time we did this, I, in fact, went through this. Just... We'll keep Kirby there. Oh, shit. I didn't mean to go into... Why does that open Studio? That used to open my actual videos, and now that opens Studio. I guess we'll just go to my channel. That's how we'll get there. I'm trying to make sure I'm like not scooting too far as to be off camera here. So I think if I lean back still, I'm fine. As long as I lean back. I'm like looking down at my phone. You get to see all the trailers here, including, or not trailer, all the playlists here, including some private ones. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, so when we did it last time, we had half an hour. Last time was half an hour. The time before that, let's see. Time before that was also 20. Yeah, so, okay, I guess I typically did it at 20 minutes and I just didn't realize that. So, to be fair, I actually started around the time that we usually do. I just didn't realize it was 1:55 and not, like, 1:15. So maybe we do a little bit. Maybe we do a little bit. Fuck it. I'm gonna have to set it up here because I don't think I normally have it set up. But we'll do it. We'll do some temporary infinite wealth. I will keep track of the time, and I will see at 1:45. I'm gonna remove this notification there. I will see at 1:45 that we, you know, do that. Oh, those rivals. I wouldn't be opposed to doing rivals either, because I got missions to do, but I don't know, that's less, like, predetermined sort of thing, like, that's a little bit harder to do. Yeah, with special offers. I guess, do I have my regular setup ready? Fun fact, we don't. We have none of that ready. Friends, I think we're gonna have to do it via the screen in the background. I think it will actually be the screen in the background will have this. Because, like, I don't want to go through the whole process of setting it up, especially because I forgot we did Persona last time. So, let's get rid of Kirby collecting there. I guess this is the way we're doing it. Oh, right, I was doing the test stuff last time. Or not even last, yesterday, essentially. Alright. But I am very excited for later, I will say. I mean, obviously, despite the fact that I mentioned, like, oh yeah, you know, I have faith in what we're gonna see. Well, excited for that shit. Where do I have to go again? Oh, up here. Let's waste time. Let's just go on to Scoot or the Segways. But yeah, I'm very excited for later tonight. It's gonna be a real fun announcement. I do, like I mentioned about the whole OVA thing, I am curious to see if we would potentially get some OVA stuff or whatever it may be. Oh, we could make a bingo. I don't know what I would put on a bingo sheet, so you know what? That as much as I would love to, I think we hold off on that idea. But that would sound fun. OVA stuff of the EX novels. Wait, I haven't said hello to that person. I need to go back to them. Alright, now we can go back. So yeah, EX novels, like specifically the stuff with Teresia, like the sword demon stuff. absolutely would love to have that as an OVA sort of thing if we could. I feel like that wouldn't necessarily be a movie. It could be. It's just the problem of it would have to be multiple movies and all that. Not the worst. Just means there's a little bit more there. We're probably only gonna get to do a floor of this before it starts, or before I want to properly just sit there and wait. How much exchange stuff do I have? Almost enough for the tentacles. That's all right. But that would be fun. Uh, I am almost curious. I would almost say like, oh, it'd be cool to get a game announcement. I highly doubt we would get that, right? Um, but it could be cool, right? I wouldn't even be opposed to a visual novel sort of one, assuming it's good, because I've heard people mention that the actual visual novel one that exists on Steam and everything isn't the greatest. I don't know how true that is, right? I do have a friend who has it, so I could Steam Family Share off him potentially. Actually, I guess I already have a Steam Family Share thing, so hmm. He'd have to sign into my stuff, which I'm not opposed to, but uh, so there's that, and I don't know if it goes on sale for cheap, because if it goes on sale for cheap, I mean, I'll just get it. Um, but I haven't heard insane stuff about that one. The only thing I've heard is obviously it relates to some characters I really enjoy, so I ain't opposed to the idea entirely. Um, Other than that, though, yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard too much that's good about it, so I wouldn't be opposed to another visual novel sort of thing. Give us more story stuff, right? At some point, I actually do want to go through because I've heard people mention. I mean, it feels obvious, but Steins Gate's like proper visual novel sort of thing is absurdly good and is just like better than the anime and all this sort of shit in terms of what I heard. So I'd love to go through that eventually. That's definitely one of my top series now that I've experienced it. Uh, that's something I'll get to probably, and I know that goes on sale for cheap, so I probably will get that soon. Uh, Thinking about it, there was a Steam sale, and I think it's done now, which is really unfortunate that I didn't think about it then. We're actually already at the end of this prior to the like 45-minute mark. This one's a pain in the ass to block. Um, Yeah, I don't know what else we could get. I don't think we're gonna get like another mobile game sort of thing because I already have one currently. I don't know that it's doing. I mean, I don't know what it's like in terms of how well it's doing, but I'll be real, right? This is my. I'm gonna hold off on selecting something here because I just want to have a proper train of thought. Um, I have seen people talk about, the previous mobile games and all this sort of stuff. I've seen art in my feed from the previous mobile games and all that. And maybe it's just because this one's very simple in terms of how it is, right? They don't do anything extreme with costumes and all that. But, oh, ooh, excuse me. I've occasionally seen event stuff from the game where they do like Halloween stuff or whatever it may be. I have seen nothing for art of that, right? Which is not great because one of the biggest draws I've seen from ReZero mobile games is fan art and all that sort of stuff. That's what usually people put a lot into, and that's why it has that sort of like community behind it. A game not having too much extreme stuff there and just being a general RPG sort of thing like the previous games were leads me to believe that it's not gonna do too hot, and there's a chance that it might not even get to its first anniversary, just like Infinity, right? So there's a chance that nothing happens there. Not to mention that it doesn't like you need a VPN to actually play it if you're not in Japan. That tends to fuck that sort of stuff over. And it's funny because some companies try to roll back that rule. Jump Pooty was a great example of that. That game was fantastic. Um, but to help it out, I honestly don't fully know why in a certain sense because they didn't have to do this. It's not like they I mean, maybe they knew, but it's not like they knew about their English audience from what I gather. Um, but Jumpooty was originally VPN only in terms of how you would play it. And like the last few years like that it had, because it shut down at this point, but the last few years that it had, at least from what I gather, because it maybe was more than that, it was a-okay, right? It was like, no, you can play it wherever, it doesn't really matter, all that sort of shit. So there's a chance they could make the same choice. I doubt it. I'm gonna be real, right? Those games get pushed out really easily with very minimal in terms of what's done, and it leads me to believe that they just view it as, yeah, this, you know, we can make a quick buck, and that's it. And it's a little unfortunate that it's like that, but that's how it is. Anyways, enjoy the CBT in the background. But yeah, I don't know. It'd be cool if we could get another one, and maybe have it actually be something interesting, and not have it be VPN limited. But I kind of doubt it. We're still at the 26-minute mark. Okay, I'm just checking to make sure we're not at 45, because once we get to 45, that's when we'll switch over. I don't know what else, honestly, they could announce today, other than, like, I saw it because the part of the OVA thing I mentioned with that, like, one joke post somebody made of, like, oh, they've announced that, oh, that was the wrong move, shit. Somebody made a joke post of just like, oh yeah, they revealed that they'll be doing a OVA of the Sword Demon stuff, and then an hour-long finale, and then you know, the Arc 6 announcement. And at this point, Arc 6 is like pretty much confirmed to be the announcing. But I think an hour-long finale announcement could be very interesting. I do think that there's enough to cover for the end that could lead to that, right? I almost doubt it in a certain sense, but I could see it. I could potentially see it, because we still have to do the wrap-up, right? So I could see the idea of, yeah, maybe we just take some extra time to do that sort of thing. That'd be cool. I wouldn't be opposed to that at all, of course, right? Means we'll be sitting here for a while when we get to react to that, but that's okay, right? That's it's for the better in a sense. I would say, but that could be fun. I think honestly the least likely thing out of that like joke post was just the idea that we could get an OVA. I would love an OVA of the Sword Demon stuff, especially with some of the stuff cut from Teresia's, because it's like I figured, you know, oh yeah, that's why they cut that sort of shit. But it's like, man, it really does make me hope that we could get one. And I almost worry we might not. What could I do here to heal other than just outright healing? Did I have something there? I mean, I guess that counts as healing. We'll do that. We'll take a drink. Oh, I didn't realize that actually gets rid of ailments. I mean, I read it there, but I thought it was just debuffs. I gotta use that from now on for specific characters. We want to use this one, and we want to give it to Adachi. But yeah, I don't know what to necessarily say about tonight's announcements further than that, because it's like, it's probably just gonna be that stuff. I am excited, by all means. I am so fucking excited. Literally, you know, favorite arc and all that sort of shit. I can't wait. But with that said, it's like what I mentioned at the start of the stream of Arc 5 has been so enjoyable so far that I highly doubt I am actually gonna, you know, sit there and be like, this is gonna be bad. I don't know why I would say that, right? So at the end of the day, I have very high hopes, and I'm expecting a whole lot, and I think we'll get a whole lot, right? So what am I to say at the end of the day in terms of that? I also will note I wouldn't be disappointed if in the odd scenario we don't get an Arc 6 announcement, because again, everything's like lining up to announce it, but if for some reason we didn't, and it was just something like a 4-hour finale, what the fuck, a 1-hour finale to Arc 5, I'm not opposed to it, right? I'm not opposed to that just being the announcement, right? We're just here to chill. We don't have to do anything grandiose for this stream or anything like that. We literally have the game on in the background because I don't want to spend too long like setting it up while we're trying to be here for, you know, the announcement. So at the end of the day, it's just a chill like sort of stream. Fuck, I just realized what I didn't announce at the in today's video. Shit. Okay. Damn. All right. So what I meant to announce that fuck. Okay, I gotta make a poll. I gotta make a poll later. I'll make a poll after all this is done. I post the recording of the reaction. Fuck. Okay. What I wanted to do was I was gonna, you know, do a general like, oh, like sort of like feel free to comment about this sort of thing, but I was probably just gonna lean towards doing it. And it was just like comment otherwise, right? Um but I was gonna mention of like, oh yeah, I would love to do Arc 9 read-throughs whenever the translated chapters come out. Literally just live streaming, chilling out, reading a chapter, and then we do something like this proper, like actually set up on the screen, right? But something like this where we just chill out and I discuss my thoughts on the chapter and everything and what I think so far. Maybe some theories in there, right? We just have fun with it. I meant to announce that on the video, but I totally forgot about that. Like, I was so focused on everything else, and I was like, oh yeah, you know, we got nothing else to talk about today, and this was yesterday that I recorded it. But I was like, yeah, we got nothing else to talk about, and that's about it. But then I'm like, oh wait, the Rumble, and I put the Rumble stuff in there. And I failed to consider, wait, there's also the more important announcement for this specific video. I'm obviously considering the Rumble stuff very important, but I'm looking at it from the perspective of like, oh, this is an Arc 9 video, and I forgot to mention to people that I would love to live stream me reading through Arc 9 chapters. This fight takes a while, dude. I forgot how long some of these fights in here take. But yeah, shit, I should have remembered to do that. Alright, you know what? We'll do the Essence of Friendship. Damn. I'm like kind of disappointed I forgot to mention that. I could also link the poll in the actual video comments. That's no issue at all. I can just pin that. Works out well. Ah, I am a fool. Right, that leveled up all the jobs to level 30. Sick. Most of them anyways. Which is also why we'll go around and do the extra fights in here, because those will be easier. Alright. I'm just like thinking about that now. I'm like, dude, that one of the biggest points of that review, well, not points because that's odd to say, but one of the biggest things with that review was me like mentioning that, and I totally forgot to. Damn. This is like what happens. It's like I get worried that I accidentally leave in a moment in the review where it's like, oh, you know, it's in between cuts where it's just me trying to like take a drink and then like stop the recording and start it up again, right? And I get worried I leave those in there because it's like, oh, then it's just like really awkward. And then it's like, oh yeah, no, you know, I didn't leave any of those in, which is really nice. But what I did leave in, or leave out rather, is me forgetting a very important announcement for this sort of thing. I was like, oh shit, yeah, that's also kind of a big deal. Damn. I did it twice for that video too, because I pointed out the Rumble stuff. It's like, that was also supposed to be in there, and yet... But you know what, that video was already like an hour long, which is typical for reviews in general. Like, not even just mine. So... Can't necessarily be too upset, but... Yeah, okay, I can get the weapon attack it. Fish! That was not a fish, that was a box. Level 60, cool. Okay, there's level 30 on that. I don't think I have any XP items. I mean, I could go get some, honestly. Because I don't need the tentacles right away. Ooh, excuse me. We have a lot of loot anyways, so I could probably just do that. Still got 10 minutes, still the 45 mark. Again, I really thought it was 115, and then I'd look at it while we're like getting ready, and it's like, oh shit, it was 155, my bad. I thought it was way earlier. Because again, it's like we normally start like 20 or 30 minutes before, and no, it's an hour this time. We started an hour before it. Alright. And then I think this dude is weak to, yeah, electric. So we'll just set that up so it goes off every turn. That's great. Alright. But yeah, again, I don't know what else to really say about tonight's stuff. I'm all I can really say is I'm excited. Much like a lot of other people, I am excited. I think it will be a very fun night of announcements, and even if not, there's still a lot of other great announcements to come for other series and stuff like that. Like, again, I got the Fist of the North Star stuff that's probably going to be announced with Anime Japan and potentially Bleach, and Chainsaw Man is there as well, and all this sort of stuff. Like, you know what? Still going to be a great sort of unites here of just like getting cool trailers and announcements and all that. It's just Han at this point. All right. But yeah, I'm like blanking occasionally there, and I'm like, oh, like trying to think of what I'm trying to say, but I don't know. All I can really say is just this will be fun, regardless of how much gets announced here. This will probably be fun. Right? We're here to chill. I think I've mellowed out a whole lot compared to previous reactions I've had, where I'm like, man, we don't get shit, and all this. Like I had that one video where I complained after the MF Bunko event, and I'm like, man, we don't get shit. And I think some of my critiques were fair, but I said it in a very whiny sort of way, and I don't really like it in that regard. I think I definitely could have constructed that video better. But overall, it's like, yeah, no, I mean, we get like, we get fucked over occasionally, but I think overall, I've mellowed out by now. Maybe it's just because of how good Arc 5's been. Maybe it's just because, you know, I've come to a greater understanding of things. Maybe like my own life has just become a lot more. I almost want to say calming in a sense. Who knows, right? We want Breaker, I believe. Is that the bottom? It is not. Oh, there it is. Oh, because it's one of the original jobs, so they put it higher. I see. Okay. We just now use that. Right there. Level them up. And now we can change all those jobs. I can heal. And I guess I should just heal right now. And then, once we change everybody out, we can just essentially get ready because it'll be roughly like 50 minutes before, and that's what we want to have. What do I want to use for him? I think we'll go Chef. Who currently has Chef? Nobody, really? No, wait. Yeah, nobody. Alright, cool. We'll go Chef. Alright. We can see Itachi's outfit in full there. I feel like we have an Aquanaut somewhere. Maybe we don't? Because it's a scuba gear? No, we don't, actually. Alright. We'll make him that, and we'll, of course, put the swimsuit back on for him. Chitose, you are pretty much done, actually. We'll just go back to your default job. And I gotta change up the inheritance stuff. Kiryu only has host? No, he has Aquanaut in there. He has Power Dancer. I guess I just changed to those briefly. We changed Adachi, so we'll go Power Dancer for him. Get that. Zhao, what should we give you? What do we, so we have the football, so we have linebacker and breaker and that. So we could go Desperado, and that won't interfere with anything. Cool. She's also finished, so we'll just go back to Assassin for her. There we go. Female characters in this game are interesting because it's like you could just always go back to the base job for them. I typically use idle for her, so I do like this if I'm going to use it. Give you breaker, or actually we could give you this. Has Han used it yet? He had. I fucked him up. I have not finished some of these, and that's kind of fucked up of me. Well, we'll give it to him. We'll give it to Nanba. Han, you can have. Do we have a samurai yet? We don't. No, we do, because Tomizawa. But we have to change this anyways, so... We already have an action started? Yeah. We'll give him breaker, because I don't think we have a breaker yet. Oh, but he's the... Shit, okay, hold on. Let's... briefly change him to chef. Change him over, because we want to have it automatically set the best equipment without having me to go in and then change that as is. And then we will go over to... What the fuck was I doing? Samurai? Yeah. We want your classic outfit. Alright. Sick. We're all good there. Let me check out the skill inheritance for my characters. Trying to think if she should have any, because let me double check what the base job stats are. She's good with speed, so if we don't have the throat skill on there, yeah, I should probably choose that, because that's like built for her. Because I could give her like multiple turns potentially. Kiryu, Essence of Ham. His essence moves are just really good. But we do want slashes in there as well, so we'll put Shadow Dance on. I'm trying to remember if there's... This might be better because that'll inflict bleed. That might be better. Because I don't know if anybody on the team has something that can. I guess we could always check. Yeah, like that doesn't do bleed. He could because he's a chef, so maybe we could. Let me take track of the... Oh yeah, we should probably switch over in a second. Let's just put it back on that. Double check all these. That's good. She needs some because I typically give her idle. So... Champagne Splash? No, because that one's better. That one, because it's electric. Do we have anything else electric-wise? Ooh, excuse me. Boosting agility is not bad. I don't know that we have anything. That could just be useful without having to use the actual skill for it, because I think there is one. So we'll put that on. And we're good. Alright. Let me go outside so we can save. All the female characters in my party are about to be fucked, because they're about to all just have, like, super maxed out regular jobs, like base jobs. Alright. Get back to here. Make sure we're all good. They are, in fact, live already. That's great. Right. So like I mentioned, I am going to occasionally just mute it, just because. But we should be good to go overall. I'm excited. I'm excited. This will be fun. It's like I said, like, we might not get any insane announcements here. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing if there isn't, right? Because, again, at the end of the day, I'm just grateful we got Arc 5, right? I obviously want Arc 6. It's my favorite arc. But even if it didn't get announced, I'd be okay with that. Oh. I do kind of wish I set up the camera up there, much like today's video. Just so I could, like, stand if I really want to. We might be okay too. I just worry because, let me double check something. I worry because I think the lights over here, they have some reach. So if I put it in standing mode, we might be okay. We might be. I worry about the light, if I can, if my hand can be seen at all. I don't know yet. I'm looking at the YouTube stream. We'll find out in a minute. Yes. Okay. Cool. The light over there. That's the one I kind of worry about. It might be okay, but it's a little tight. I think, you know what? I think we try it. I think I'm gonna fuck with the camera here a little. No, because then the screen doesn't get seen, doesn't it? Right. Right. Shit. I forgot. Yeah, so if I put it up there, as much as it's nice because I get to stretch out my legs and everything, that won't get seen. Fuck. This is the problem with the setup, is as much as it has a lot of useful stuff to it, putting the camera up here, great for reviews and big videos and stuff like that. Reactions, cannot do it, right? And technically speaking, I might be able to keep the camera down here. We could keep the camera down here on this level. Friends, we're gonna try something here that could potentially fuck us over. But you know what? I think we take the risk. Let's try it. If I hear anything move, I'm stopping. Oh, that is moving the camera, actually. We all good? Hold on. Okay, hold on. I gotta put on this so that I know what's going on. It does not like this. I don't know why it is lagging. Let me close up Steam. Because there's also a chance it tries to update some shit. Let me put my camera back on. Okay, so you know what the problem is, right? So I'm here. Why is it lagging this much? The fuck is going on? Hold up. This is working, but it is lagging way too hard, at least for me. No, it's definitely in general. Get rid of the YouTube channel on the actual live stream. I don't care about that. Uh, is it lagging here? Let me double check if it's lagging on here. No, it looks fine on here now. I guess just pulling up the camera was a little fucked up there. Okay. Can I pull this forward? Alright, hi friends. We're still here and everything. I just want to stand for a bit before we actually do this proper. I'm gonna have to move the camera afterwards as well. But we'll deal with that. We'll get there. Please. You know what, that's fine. Okay. Now I can stand. So we can stand and talk. That's nice. Much better. Alright, how much time do we have left on this? Let's see. Like 4 minutes? We can stand for 4 minutes. I had to stretch my legs a little bit. Yeah, like I was saying before though, regardless of what gets announced, what doesn't, whatever it may be, I'm excited. We could watch it this way, right? The only thing I worry about is like, let me see this. I guess it does show the shelf still. It's just, I like having the shelf in full view, right? And I think we'll get tired of standing pretty quickly. So we'll just stand for a few minutes, stretch out the legs that way. I don't know. I don't know what to say essentially, because it's exactly what I mentioned before. I have faith, right? I have faith in whatever happens here. I think it'll be nice, right? Like I said, it's gonna be a nice, good weekend, I guess, or whatever it may be of announcements. There's a lot to get announced, and there's a lot that's gonna be great when it does. Honestly, having the Arc 9 review done is nice in the fact that, I finally got to talk about it and read through it and all that sort of shit. But it's also nice in regards to just having it done, right? It lets me focus on A Demon's Tale and writing that and making teasers and making the cover and all that sort of stuff. It lets me focus on the Infinite Wealth video that I'm trying to do, right? Slash Gaiden. It works out really well. It means that there's a whole lot less weighing me down on my back, and I get to just be like, okay, cool. Now we can put our focus into these other things, and that's nice, right? Don't have to worry too much about that, and I like that. Just trying to see the time here. It's only about a minute. All right, good. Yeah, not much else to say. Honestly, I'm gonna be real. We could probably stand for 10 minutes because it's 55 that it's starting. But let's be real here. They aren't starting at 55. They're starting at 2 on the dot, right? So we can probably stand for 10 minutes. If they do end up starting prior to that, I'm going to have to immediately get this back into sitting mode. Luckily, I can click one of these buttons and do that. I should probably turn it off while it's in standby. But luckily, I can click one of these buttons and immediately get it back into sitting mode at the exact height I need it. But other than that, we're good. This is going to be an exciting week. Like I said, those announcements. We got the final episode on Wednesday. That's going to be great. I finally get to talk about my thoughts on it as a whole, right? Because I got some things to say. I got some compliments, big compliments all around for it. I do have a few critiques about this core. The main thing I'm going to talk about, I'm not going to go too in depth here, obviously, because we don't have the time for that. All right, I was wrong. We're going back down. Everybody sit down. Everybody sit down. All right, my bad. I misjudged the situation. Tilt the camera down a bit. Make sure we're good. I think that's proper. This is either brand new music or this sounds like it belongs. Like, this almost sounds like traveling in the sand sort of. Maybe that's me coping, but this sounds like traveling in the sand sort of music. Beeps. Beeps. Oh. I'll obviously unmute it when we actually get to the proper reaction. The volume should hopefully be low enough that it can be heard, because I have it muted right now, but it should be low enough that it can be heard because Mass Attack was playing through there. I'm gonna turn it up just in case. Um, should be loud enough they can be heard, but not loud enough that if there is a detection problem, like copyright sort of thing, it shouldn't pick up on that. No, I think this is definitely Arc 5 music, because this, I think, was playing when Sirius showed up, so I am probably wrong on all that. I wonder if they'll have the violin theme playing in there for Capella. I mean, I guess Capella's VA will be there. I am really curious if a certain flashback is going to be in there, just because she's there. Oh, that's the opening theme. Never mind. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, it's gonna be fun. I like that the lights are like going to the music. That's great. Oh, they all are. Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, I realized they were talking about a switch. I'm like, wait, what? And then I realized, oh, it's his mic. His mic was off. And that they aren't turning it on, so everybody has to support him. All right. The fuck was I talking about prior to that? I'm trying to remember what the fuck I was trying to say. Like, all of a sudden, we all had to sit down, and then I just, like, I totally blanked on what I was saying. All right. I think I was just talking about the week and how I'm just excited for stuff. Ah, that's great. Um, Garfield's VA reminded me, Vincent's work on, what was it, episode 6, I believe? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was episode 6. Uh, no, it was episode 5. Episode 6 was Teresia. Doi. Um, but Vincent's work on that is like so damn good. I am partially hoping it's on the stuff related to Ram. I am hoping, that they get him back for that, because dude, if that fight, it's something I mentioned in my reaction of, if that fight has that animation, bro, it's gonna be all over the screen. Like, I am just gonna be dead. I will actually be a corpse for like 4 hours worth of a reaction. And it is after the fourth hour, I'm just gonna be like, oh, and just get back up and I'll be like, oh, okay, I guess that's it. Yeah, I don't know. I keep saying that over and over. I'm just like, I'm excited, I guess. It's hard to form proper thoughts right now when I'm just excited to see what happens. I'm glad she called everybody like disgusting meat scrapes or whatever the fuck. I could tell by what she was saying there. Again, I am very curious on what they show in the actual trailer. I am They are absolutely not going to, but it would be so fucking funny if for some reason they decided to end the trailer. Just like, showing the date or whatever. It's like pitch black in the background. And they end it with one of the lines from the last chapter, like one of the last lines in there. It would be so funny if that's in there for no reason at all. Just like have people get like, wait, we're like, what, who's saying that? And then other people like actually figuring it out and being like, wait a minute. It would absolutely be like massive spoiler territory, but dude, it would be kind of funny. So I'm gonna get my hands ready on all the buttons. I mean, okay, I think that they're gonna actually, do like a hand forward sort of thing, and that's when they dim the lights. So I think we'll wait on that. But oh, Oh, peeps, the butterflies are here. I can feel it. My stomach is absolutely churning right now, and I'm just like, oh, oh, I'm excited. I can't wait till we get the insert songs. We are getting them soon, I believe, roughly. That'll be fun. I'm definitely gonna add those to my playlists and everything, obviously. Those are great. Like, Liliana's really good. Emilia's really good. I assume that is the extent of them. I partially hope this isn't biased because it's like my favorite insert song, but I partially hope Ram gets one for Arc 6. I think that could really add to the finale of that sort of thing, right? I think that one could be really great. Oh, you know who would totally get one later down the line? Obviously, we won't go into details just because, obvious things. But, I mean, name she just said there, Priscilla. I think Priscilla definitely later down the line might get one, and that could be really fun. That's something I'm really curious about is Arc 7 and 8, how that's going to be adapted, right? Because presumably it's going to be like 2 seasons sort of thing, but that's a lot to adapt, right? That pretty much has to be like they do 30 episodes for Arc 7. They split up the cores for the sake of it being healthy. Problem is 15 episodes for a core might be a little rough for people, so maybe extra splits in there, right? Maybe 3 splits of a core, maybe 4, whatever it may be. Then Arc 8, which could be 2, but it is still a thing of that might still have to be 30 episodes. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe I'm overestimating it. But I think that would still also have to be pretty large in terms of its entirety. Uh, so that's going to be an interesting one when we get there. It is kind of cool that we are as close with the anime as it was before, or at least the general implication of that. Because I wasn't in this community prior to like Arc 4 and all that, right? I only got into it a few months after part 2 of Arc 4 came out. Uh, but you know, I definitely I definitely just based on what I know. Oh, there's the other insert song. Um, what was I saying? Arc 4, right? When it was in the light novel, web novel, all that sort of stuff. Because there was a break that Teppei took after writing it, from what I understand, a decently long break. So that came out, but then at the same time, there was arcs 1 to 3 with the anime. And those are roughly, not even roughly, those are pretty damn close in terms of actual time, like, between them and all that sort of shit. But now we're here. We are very likely getting an Arc 6 announcement, right? And in that scenario of like, oh, we get Arc 6, right? And we get it animated and all this, we're still on Arc 9 right now, right? Like, even if you could say, well, Arc 7 and 8, like, technically are together as an arc sort of thing, and they're very long and all this sort of shit, I would agree. But it is kind of the thing of, to be fair though, that's still a relatively short amount of time in terms of how it would be adapted and everything, right? It's not going to take like 50 billion years to come out or whatever it may be. It's like that would still be like a year or two for maybe Arc 7, then another year or two for Arc 8, whatever it may be. I mean, I guess that is a little long, but it's like, it's just a thing if we'd be catching up pretty quickly, right? So it's like, it's not like this would necessarily take long. And as a result, comparing it to prior circumstances with the series, we're actually kind of close once again to being caught up, right? Luckily, there is a big hurdle in the way, right? This is like if Arc 5 was being done at the time and that was like fully ready and all that sort of shit. And then they were adapting Arc 3, and it's like, well, shit, they're close to Arc 5. Luckily, the big hurdle of Arc 4 is in the way, right? That works out in that sort of scenario. Um, it does remind me. I like that I started a sentence and I immediately took a drink. It does remind me that there's something I wanted to do with ADT I debated on. It's something I discussed with my editor and friend, Brandon, or King Shippos, as some of you may know him, because it's been in a few videos before, and like mainly streams and stuff like that. But it's something me and him had a laugh about, of there's something in the story that I should do simultaneously in the real world in terms of waiting, and it would be really funny because it's like it could build in anticipation, but at the same time, it's just the perspective of yeah, I'm also gonna wait that long. The only thing I would worry about with that, and obviously I'm not going into details about it because I don't want to spoil my own series, but the only thing I worry about that is I don't want to wait too long because then it's like, well, then does it build anticipation or does it get people, like wondering, is this gonna actually happen at any point or whatever it may be, right? So I do partially worry about that. I don't know. I think I'd hold off on that in terms of an idea, but I wouldn't be opposed to it entirely. I wouldn't be opposed to going back to it and being like, you know what, we should do that, right? Again, I mentioned it before. I wouldn't be shocked if the announcement today is about the last episode only and there is no Arc 6. Or at least like Arc 6 is teased at most, right? An actual trailer would be cool. Again, Rui, right? That's the big thing we have to think about here. Rui, right? That would be the optimal time. But I will say, obviously, I could see just no Arc 6 trailer, just final episode sort of trailer thing. Would it be a little disappointing? Yeah, but I mean, I think it's still cool to get, and we'd still get the announcement of who's playing Rui. We'd still get the inclination sort of thing, whatever the fuck. Did I actually say a word there? I more so meant inkling sort of thing, but whatever the fuck. Uh, that Arc 6 could happen and will happen and all this sort of shit, right? Um, but I do think it's very likely that we are probably getting Arc 6. It's just I could see it the other way. I could see it as still exciting regardless of that, all that sort of shit. It'd still be fun. The only thing that makes me think it could be a final episode trailer is just because they're going episode by episode, which obviously, yeah, it's the recent thing that's been happening. It's what's been happening the past few weeks. But I am just viewing it from that perspective of it might not be what we think it is, and I'm like laying off my own, excitement to just be like it could be, and I don't want to, rush my thoughts here and be like, whoa, ooh, excuse me. I do think there is a possibility that it's so the last time we were here, right? Not including when I sat down and I did a recording and I freaked the fuck out because I was right about Capella's VA and all that. Um, Fitting that I said that as they show her. Uh, but last time we were here, proper stream wise, they did a trailer, but they didn't have vocals in there or anything. Like they didn't have vocal performances. So there is a chance of that, right? Because I think if they did almost want to like if they did want to talk about it more in depth, you know what I mean? Much like they did last time, they would have I'm gonna say like they would have the correct VAs here. Ram's VA would be here, like Rie Murakawa. Uh, Meilei's VA, who I don't know the name of, but she would probably be here. Uh, who else would be here? That would, I guess Julius, right? Julius, Anastasia, all that. Uh, we'd probably have all of them here. Whereas like this is obviously 5 leading into 6, if anything, for that sort of thing. So we might get, actual vocals in the trailer. We might not, but I feel like there's going to be a second announcement, and that's when everybody who is going to show up will show up there, right? Now, the last time they did this, they did announce who was playing Liliana and Sirius and all that, and did have Liliana come out on stage. No, never mind. That was I am so used to it because of stuff like Dokkan. It's crazy. Dokkan has actually helped me with that. I am so used to it because of Dokkan and them saying that and then showing off a unit supers that I was just ready to like click the buttons. That actually got my heart racing there. Fuck. Um, Hey, there's the Twitter preview images that I used for thumbnails. Uh, I gotta take a minute to breathe. Fuck. I got me so worried for a second. Uh, but yeah, this is like 5 leading into 6, so I could see like new VAs, because I mentioned it in today's video, of I could see Rui's VA and Shala's VA coming out on stage. They would need to bring in extra seats for them, obviously. Um, but I could see that happening. Uh, but I don't know. I don't know what else I'm trying to say here. It's just like the general thing of I think we'll have another obvious like trailer sort of moment where it's like a proper event. They go over things, all that sort of shit. We'll likely get that. I forgot, was it? I think it might have been MF Bunko like last year that actually did have a proper trailer sort of thing. And it was the one year I decided not to actually watch it. Because I was just like, because that's why we did the recording. It's like, fuck, one time I decide not to watch it. I'm watching something with my brother, and then all of a sudden, brand new trailer, and it's voiced, right? And it was just like, dude, come on, right? But when it came to like previous MF Bunko stuff, we live streamed one 2 years ago, nothing. We watched the one the year prior to that one. I guess 2 years ago is incorrect. It was 3 years ago. But 2 years ago we watched it. Rather, I recorded my reaction in case there was anything. We got a new visual. That was about it, right? And then last year, I'm not expecting anything, so I'm like, oh yeah, let me just go watch stuff with my brother. And then, oh, what do you know? They actually drop a trailer. If we get Arc 6 announced, though, I definitely think I will probably be here for the MF Bunko stuff. We'll chill out. We won't have anything extreme. We'll just wait, right? I will say, hold on, let me take a drink. I will say that I think if we do it, we need a confirmed date that it's at the end of the year or something like that. Because if it's next year, I don't know if there'll be a trailer. So I think we would hold off on that if it's next year. But if it's this year, it's like, okay, yeah, obviously we'll be here for the MF Bunko event. See, I'm always prepared. Um, but yeah, I think we'd wait on that. Whew. Just chilling out here. We're just chilling out. This is like shockingly longer than normal for this sort of thing. Uh, Not the worst, right? But it was like 10 minutes. I think the only reason this is kind of like happening as long as it is because we've been getting this, right? This is what's been happening the past few weeks. So essentially, past half a year, right? So we shall sit, we shall wait, and we will probably get a trailer of something, right? I think that's the big thing we can say is we'll get a trailer of something. We don't know what necessarily. It could be Arc 6, it could be the final episode, it could be in fucking OVA, right? But we shall sit, we shall wait. Because let's be real, I highly doubt they would have a stage if they had nothing to announce. Even if it's like, but they had a recent anime sort of thing. They're not going to show up and just be like, oh yeah, we're doing nothing, by the way, here. Right? They'd obviously at least tease something to come. I'm like already running out of my drink and I thought I'd be alright, but I think it's because we started an hour early accidentally and I'm like, fuck. And I already did my review yesterday. So, like, that kind of dries out the throat a decent bit. And, you know, makes me like need time to heal. Because that's like an hour of talk. Think about it from the perspective of that video is an hour long. And I had to cut stuff out. Right? Not too much, but I had to cut stuff out. So, it implies that throat's used it is a bit there. And even if I have a drink on me while I'm doing it, doesn't necessarily feel too great when you do it for too long, right? It is why when I do the talks about videos, I usually try to split them up because I don't want to, do that for too long. So it's like, okay, let's split that up, chill out, and then we'll do more tomorrow, and it's a nice balance. Okay, they're gonna talk about lie. Wait, are they? I can't tell. Yeah. Oh, and we are getting previews of, yeah, next or this week's episode. Yeah, I was right. I can't tell if that's supposed to be lie. Well, no, I think it is because I think the point is that she does actually look like, yeah. I was gonna say I'm assuming that we are like going to get proper previews of the episode to come. I want to see those images again. Yeah, okay, that is that's them like holding hands when they're walking through the city, I'm pretty sure. That's what that last image is. The big thing is, so unlike Arc 4, this will lead into 6. I think that is why 6 is very likely, is that this arc outright leads into it with what's to come. So, I guess, you know what? I was saying that whole thing about the trailer before and how I was worried to put it on there. But I did that after the fact, right? I literally synced it up after the fact with all that shit. Um, yeah, we probably could have avoided it that way. It's a little too late now because if the trailer shows up at any point, we want to be ready without needing to set it up. But damn, I didn't consider like, yeah, you know what? We probably would have been okay because we were okay before. Ah, I should have thought about that. I think I was just like so worried that I wasn't sure. Yeah, so they're talking about the next episode. But will we get a trailer for it, or will we get a trailer for the Arc 6, or will we get a trailer for both? That's the question. I take a drink. Ah, but like Arc 5 mentions Shaola and everything, so it's kind of the thing of like I feel like they would probably go into that. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I'm keeping my hands ready to hit those buttons if I have to. I am almost partially expecting like a fake out sort of thing of they show like a preview for next week's episode. Uh and then or I guess technically this week's episode. And then just in the middle of it, bam, right to 6. Right. I did like picture that sort of thing prior to this stream and everything. And that would be really funny, but whew, I'm like on the edge of my seat this whole time. I'm waiting to see if there's anything. Right. Of course, we're taking it chill, like before. Taking it nice and easy. I guess half of the episode will be the fight, the other half will be going over the end of it. Maybe not, because honestly, this part of the fight is pretty short. So it might even be like the last, or like the first 5 minutes of it are the fight, and then the last remaining 50 minutes or whatever it may be are just the end. Ooh, excuse me. Whew. I think what does help partially, because I mean, I mentioned I've mellowed out with a lot of this stuff, but I think what does help is knowing that other stuff is getting announced with Anime Japan that I do care about a lot. Because again, Rize movie, we're probably getting another trailer. Bleach might be getting something there. The Fist of the North Star remake might be getting something, which is a massive deal to me, right? Uh, Okay, it's not. I'm just gonna hold on to this. And actually move it closer so it's easier. I like some of those outfits. I think some of them are a little too noisy. I do think it suffers partially from the problem. I guess it's meant to be like Priscilla, because that's what they were talking about. So it does kind of fit the characters. Um, Notice how they're emphasizing Anastasia and Julius. Uh, I do like the general outfits there. I always do like when colors match the character. They don't always have to, of course, but when everybody has the same color, it's a little hard to look at occasionally. Depends on how you do it, right? I do like that every outfit is unique though and fits. Like I like Julius's there. Oh, never mind. There it goes. Again, there is a chance we get no trailer here because to be fair, they did talk about all that stuff and now we're on to this. There is a chance we get nothing. And it was a small possibility in my mind, but it is one that I was fully open to. Oh shit, they are talking about the volume. That is, they do usually save that for later. That might be it, bros. I'll hold out some hope, but I'm not gonna like bank everything off of it. We might have to be back later for like Arc 6 stream for real this time. All these people seeing Yay and they don't know who she is. The art, I saw the art on that Arc 5 like volume uh a few weeks ago or whatever, whenever it was shown. And holy shit, that looks so fucking cool. It reminds me of that one, I think it's a Stardust Crusaders volume. I don't think it's a colored page or anything like that. But I think it's a proper volume cover of it. It's Jotaro doing this. They use it in a lot of games. It's Jotaro doing this, and then Dio coming down on him like this, and it's both of them like this, and it's so cool. They're playing the ending song. It might be over. What time is it? Oh shit, there's only 7 minutes left, bros. Bros, there are only 7 minutes. I think that's it. I think a lot of people, including myself a little bit, had our hopes a little too high. But I think that's it. Yeah, shit. I didn't even realize that we were that close to the end. Damn. Yeah, so it was just gonna be. To be fair, it was coming out prior to the actual last episode. It was definitely possible. It is funny because this essentially just shows that leakers didn't have shit, right? Like all this supposedly leaked stuff, and then it's like, nope. Yeah, they're doing a final message here. I think that's it. At most, we might get a teaser, but that's about it. Should I move this back? I think if this happened next week, right? Like next Saturday night, Sunday, fucking 12 a.m., whatever the fuck, 1 a.m., uh, it would be way more possible. Just, I think the timing on this definitely did show it was probably going to be an episode thing, and that's it. Yeah, there's 4 minutes. There's no way we even get a teaser. I'm assuming it's happy birthday to the VAs because it shouldn't. Yeah, no, because it would be April 1st for Subaru. I was gonna say, shouldn't be that for Capella because she ain't, you know, there's been a very clear rule about them in this series. I will say this is very funny because I mentioned the leaker thing. It is very funny that this just throws any leaks, not including the joke ones, but any leaks that people had right out the window. Yeah, they are getting rid of stuff on the stage. I'm gonna move this back. Let's actually, if I can change it, let's change the stream name. Can I edit it from here? Yeah, hopes were a little too. I will say it's a little disappointing that there wasn't like even a trailer for this week's episode, but we'll just we'll get it regardless of that. Again, I was like mentioning it earlier, but it almost does seem a little odd in a certain sense that somebody like Rams VA wouldn't be there, right? Because she's like one of the big focuses of the show, and Arc 6 is her big arc, right? Like, I would argue Arc 6 is like a lot of the characters there, arc, like Subaru, Julius, all that sort of stuff. But she is like one of the biggest focuses in there. So it's wild if, didn't involve her at all. All right. That's okay. That's all right. It works out. We will edit that up a bit. That's all right. I'm curious on what the chat looks like. Show me the chat. People are like, oh, waste of time. Brother, I mean, I know it's anime fans and all that, but it's just like that shit takes work, man. I wasn't fully expecting it, and yeah, wasn't. What? That's okay. Colon D. There we go. Let's unpin that. Let me get rid of that too. All right, that's whatever. We got to chill out. We got to just see if it was, see if it wasn't. Whatever. We'll be back for the reaction this week. Um, I don't doubt that we will probably get an announcement in some way for this, right? I will return for MF Bongo stuff, but I think we'll chill out just like we did with this. Maybe they announce Arc 6 there. Maybe they don't. We'll have to see, right? Um, this does, like I said, prove every fucking leaker wrong because they would have announced this, right? So that was absolutely wrong. Uh, I kind of like that. I kind of like that that's incorrect because you know what? It sounded it sounded way too good, right? Of like, oh yeah, we're getting Arc 6 as well. Arc 6 is by all means like one of the most, if not the most popular arc in the series, and the one people love a lot. But were we really gonna get it right after 5? 5 already looks beautiful in all this, but were we really going to get it immediately, right? Like right as soon as 5's done and everything, get that announcement, right? At that point, Jujutsu should have done that, right? Jujutsu released a teaser for the next arc, but they didn't release a proper trailer with anything, right? And we know how Mappa is with some of that stuff. So it makes sense that, yeah, we're not getting anything here yet, because still, it is a little saddening, I won't deny. I definitely would have loved Arc 6. And obviously, I would almost want at least a trailer for this week's episode. But again, we'll get that this week. And I mean, Arc 6, we're still probably going to get. We can just wait on that. Honestly, gives me more time to read it, right? Because I mentioned the whole thing of how I'm going to read it and then go week by week reviewing the episodes when they come out. Gives us more time. Works out. That said, though, I think we'll wrap it up here. There's not too much else to do or say, or whatever it may be. So thank you all for watching. Have yourselves a great night. And yeah, we'll be back for MF Bunko or whatever it may be. Right, probably. We'll just be here in case they do announce something. Maybe they do announce Arc 6. Who knows? Right, maybe they announce an OVA. That'd be cool. Still, though, we'll be back. I'll be back in general for all sorts of stuff. Same as usual, right?